Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. So, what is nasalization? Nasalization is an English word. It means saying something nasally or using the sound that comes out of your nose. And ghunna is the same word in Arabic. And it's this sound that I was telling you about that you make when you're reciting. It's a special sound. And it should not be less than 2 seconds or 2 counts when we're reciting it. And it's made on these two letters, Mim and Nun, when they have Shadda on top of them. That is also known as Mim Mushaddad and Nun Mushaddad. Okay, I know that yesterday you learned about Shadda and joining. So today we're learning about this special kind of Shadda, which is only on Mim and Nun. When you see the Shadda on Mim and Nun, then you have to make sure that you make the Ghunna sound. Okay, so here we go. It's a special case of tashdid, Shadda. But you do the same steps like you learned yesterday with any tashdid, but just with the one extra check, and we will go through that now. So we've got 5 easy steps for tashdid. This is revision for you, isn't it? So first of all, you learned that you have to look for the letter with the shadda on top of it, also known as the mushaddad letter. And then number 2, you're going to look for the letter that has the vowel on it, right? So you're going to look for the letter nearest to it that is vowelled or that is mutaharrik. And then you're going to join those two letters together, the mushaddad letter and the vowelled letter. And at this moment in time, you're not going to worry about what stroke the mushaddad letter has on it. You're just going to think about joining the two letters first of all. And then you're going to look at the stroke and make the right sound on that mushaddad letter. Okay. And then, of course, you combine everything together. So you combine the sound that the vowel letter will make, you join it to the mushaddad letter, and then you make the sound of the stroke on the mushaddad letter as well. Okay. And remember that you press on the mushaddad letter. Your emphasis is on the mushaddad letter. Okay. So let's practice Mim Mushaddad. Remember that Mim Mushaddad and Nun Mushaddad are the two special letters that in which we will recite Ghunna. Okay, so here we go. We have an example of a word that has what we are talking about today, the rule. Okay, so first what we have to do is identify the Mushaddad letter. And I hope all of you at home are thinking, which letter has the shadda on it? And of course, it is the mim. We can see that mim is mushaddad. Mim has shadda on it, the red letter. Then we have to identify the most recent voweled letter, which is a letter with a stroke, but it has to be the one that came just before it, the one nearest to it, right? Because in that word, we can see that there are a few letters that have strokes on them, but we are only concerned at this moment in time with the one that comes most recently before the mushaddad letter. So I hope all of you are shouting out the answer at home, and you know that, of course, it is ha. Ha has fatha on it, also known as maftu. Ha maftu. Okay. So now we're going to just join the two letters. We're not going to worry about the stroke on the mim. So here, I hope again all of you are saying what I'm going to say right now, which is ham, right? Ham. And remember it's a ghunna, so you have to do it for 2 counts. Okay. Then, so here we go. This is what I was saying, that we join the two sounds together and make ham. We've joined. Okay. Is it Mim Mushaddad or Nun Mushaddad? Yes, of course. So it's Ghunna, right? So we're going to elongate that sound for a little bit. Ham, right? Ham. And now we look at the stroke on the Mushaddad Mim and we make the right sound. So here you can see it's Fatha So fatha, as we know, is a short sound, yeah, short vowel. So then we put everything together. And remember, the emphasis is on the mushaddad letter. That's the letter that you're going to put the pressure on when we recite it. So now I'm going to recite that part of the word, and I hope you recite it with me. Hamma. So did you count to 2 when you were reciting? In your head, you must count to 2. Hamma. So remember, this was the extra step that isn't in the normal mushaddad rules. Okay, now let's read the whole word together. Muhammadun. Muhammadun. Did you hear me put emphasis on the Mim Mushaddad? I hope you did. Okay, next we're going to go to Nun Mushaddad. So here again, this is your Ghunna rule. Remember, Nun and Mim, when they are Mushaddad, they have the Ghunna rule. So let's talk about this part of the word. Identify the Mushaddad letter, and I hope all of you at home are thinking about which letter has Shadda on it. And of course, it's the Nun. And we have to look at which letter is the most recent vowelled letter before it. And here in this case, yes, of course, it's the vowel. And the vowel has dhamma, so it's vowel madmoom. Okay. And so you have to join those 2 letters together, but we're not going to worry about the stroke on the Nun Mushaddad. We're just going to join them up. We're not going to worry about how we're going to recite the Nun yet. We're just joining one like this, okay? Now, is it a Mim or a Nun Mushaddad? In which case it will be Ghunna. Yes, of course, it's Nun Mushaddad. So therefore, this is Ghunna, and we have to make sure that we elongate or we stretch that sound for not less than 2 seconds. Okay, and now we look at which stroke is on the Mushaddad letter, and obviously in this case it is Fatha on the Nun. Fatha is on the Nun, which is that short vowel. So now, once we've identified which letters we're joining together, how we're joining them together, and the stroke on the Mushaddad letter, now we know that we have to put everything together. And remember, put your emphasis on the Mushaddad letter. So we're going to recite this in this way, and I hope all of you are doing this at home as well. Wunna, wunna. Okay? So again, this was the extra step, identifying that there is Nun Mushaddad, and we will have to recite Ghunna. So now let's read everything. Let's read that word. لَتَرَوُنَّ لَتَرَوُنَّ. I hope you heard me emphasizing the Nun Mushaddad. Okay, now let's review quickly. So tashdid, including nasalization, also known as Ghunna, there are 6 easy steps. The first step is identify your Mushaddad letter. Okay, so at the bottom of the screen there, you can see Mim Mushaddad. Mim Mushaddad. The second step is then look for that mutaharrik letter or that vowelled letter that comes before, just before the Mushaddad letter. So in this case, obviously, it is Ha. Ha maftu. Okay. And then step 3. Now you must join that mushaddad letter and the vowelled letter or mutaharrik letter, but you have to ignore the stroke on the mushaddad letter. We're not going to worry about that yet. So in this case, Mim Mushaddad is there. We're not going to worry about the stroke that was on there. We're just going to join them up. But now you have to identify, is it Mim or Nun Mushaddad? And if it is, then you have to follow the Ghunna rule. Okay? But if it isn't, that's fine. You just don't do Ghunna. Then you don't need to worry about making that extra sound, nasal sound, which lasts for 2 counts or 2 seconds. Okay? But in this case, obviously, we have Mim Mushaddad, so we have to make that Ghunna sound. Then we look at the stroke. right? Look at the stroke and make the right sound. So in this case, you've got Mim maftuh. You've got fatha on the mim. And then the last step is to combine all of those things together. So you're going to recite the vowelled letter sound, then you're going to join it with the mushaddad letter. You're going to then look at the letter on the mushaddad, the stroke on the mushaddad letter, and then you're going to read that. Bearing in mind whether it's Nun or Mim Mushaddad, you must make the Ghunna sound. And if it's not, then you don't have to. So I hope you're all going to recite with me now. Oops, sorry. Going to recite with me now. Hamma, hamma. So you can hear that I'm emphasizing the Mim Mushaddad because it's Ghunna, and that I've kept my emphasis on that Mim Mushaddad, and I have recited it for 2 counts, and yet the vowel sound, the stroke sound is short because it's not a long vowel sound. It's a short vowel sound. It's only fatha.